Yeah, mine started all right.
Same here, yeah.
Yeah, I like how we always have to go through that. Oh, mine started all right.
I always like we'll go through the whole. All right, shall we do the pat of cake and make sure we sync up? We had so many different techniques.
Yeah, I'm used to that. I'm used to clapping in time.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't even do the triangle at school properly. I could never do that on time.
Oh, I love the triangle. Triangle's awesome.
Yeah, but like you've got one job.
Yeah.
And when you fail that, that's when you know you've got no musical talent whatsoever.
But here's the thing, like, at least it made a great sound. It wasn't like that fucking blockage spiel.
Yeah.
The blockage spiel is just a fucking wooden block and you smack it with another wooden block.
Yeah.
That was such a letdown. Like, oh, who wants to play the blockage spiel? No one wants to play the blockage spiel.
I know. It's like, well, we're not savages, are we?
No, exactly. And plus, like, I've never heard any orchestra say, oh, we have our, trombone, where, other than the primary school band, was the blockage spool used? It's never been used anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's just made for primary school. Like, I'll give it to Johnny. He can't really rub two fingers together. Let's just give him the bloody blockage spool.
Keep him entertained.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Bloody Johnny. Oh, God. Can't even get the triangle right.
Yeah. Honestly, if I was in a band, I'd be the one going, oh, is it my turn now? Or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd be, am I meant to be playing? That's the kind of thing I'd probably end up doing.
Or like in a rock band, like you're dished out, and then you're waiting for the guitar solo, but at the same time, you're not quite sure if it's your turn to rock the house down.
Yeah. I tell you what, talking about bands, actually, I was listening yesterday to some of the early Queen albums.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised, actually, how good they are, because I used to not really like early Queen stuff all that much.
With early Queen stuff, you're including Bohemian Rhapsody, right?
But like the first two albums as well, which... Yeah. I mean, they do get ignored a little bit sometimes, I think.
Well, they were all right. Like, everyone's first album, unless you're, like, a rock god from the instant you start, is a little bit like finding their voice. But Queen has always maintained their sound, in a way, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, but you revisited them. Like, did they hold up?
They do, actually. Like, because I got into them when I was, like, a teenager. That's the first band I ever got into.
Oh, cool.
So I always had that kind of slightly nostalgic sense about them.
So it's, like, more deeper meaning to you.
Yeah. I went off them for a bit.
Yeah.
Because, you discover other music.
And then, like, you don't want to hear the same thing over and over.
Yeah. And I just kind of lost touch with them a little bit.
Well,
but then I started listening to them a little bit again just recently, and I was actually surprised how good they are. Like,
yeah,
people always go I think their harmonies as well, how well they sound together and stuff like that. In fact, that all four of them could write songs and stuff like that.
No, that's true. They were all quite talented.
Yeah.
What was your you rarely get that where all four members are actually just as diverse as the main singer. But what was your favourite album by them, anyway?
Oh, I find that one really difficult.
Yeah, I quite like The Best Of.
Yeah, I tell you what, their first greatest hits is actually a pretty good one to go with.
Yeah.
Because it's got all the great... It's got, Bohemian Rhapsody and Another One Bites the Dust.
Yeah, I love it a bit. I think... Where did I hear that? I think that was an Alan Partridge joke, actually. Where they go, what's your favourite ABBA song? What's your favourite ABBA album, Alan? Oh, I quite like The Best Of.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that does tend to be a good one to get into a band, right?
Yeah,
I think
it's funny how your favourite band, you could I was the same. I had a couple of favourite bands that for some reason you don't listen to every single one of their albums on.
Yeah.
Because you rediscover. It might be a conscious choice to choose to come back to them later, like save it for a rainy day so that you can re-enjoy them in a different way, or you just didn't get around to it, or in a lot of cases you just enjoyed one of the albums so much that you listen to it over and over again. Like you're one of those people that listens to a good song over and over again, but you don't like getting into new stuff, even if it is the same band.
Yeah.
So sometimes I felt like that with Metallica or Gorillaz or some of the I still haven't listened to all of Plastic Beach altogether, but I've listened to the majority of it now in sections.
Yeah.
But it's just because I have something to listen to later on down the line,
Yeah. Have you ever found that you've had a song you've listened to a fair bit in the past, but you've not realised just how good it is until it. And so you just listen to it and you think that's really good.
When you actually break it down and think about all the work that went into it.
Yeah.
But I kind of did that with Feel Good Inc. And I just listened to it over and over again. Back when it first came out, it was brilliant, music video and all that. But then you listen to it again and you realise just what a banger it is. What a banger it actually is. Like, actually gets you kind of grooving a little bit. And it's astounding, really. It still surprises you to this day.
Yeah, I think what amazes me about some of the early Queen is because when you listen to some like older Queen, where it's, later Queen, where it's all kind of like, it's all like the synthesizers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Queen were really quite heavy rock at times in the early days.
Like Brian May, he didn't grow that hair overnight. He was always like the rocker that he is. They distanced themselves from the rock scene. They kind of went to a more inclusive style, which kind of incorporated everything. But I think to a lot of other rockers, especially like people like the Sex Pistols, and I think that was a bit of an annoyance because even though they were about inclusion and fuck society and stuff, they must have found that whole like Freddie Mercury's more posher way of presenting music a little bit. Yeah.
I think in music there can be like an inverted snobbery sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, because Freddie Mercury was into ballet and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think people like tended to like sneer, particularly in the rock world, tended to sneer at that kind of thing.
Yeah. Especially since he was doing better than them at some point.
Yeah. Have to confess, I never actually really liked the Sex Pistols, so...
There were some songs I liked by them, but it was always, again, the best of. I think I enjoyed the characters more than I did the actual music.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I like ages ago, when I was young, I did buy the album just because I like the fact that it had bollocks on the title the album.
God Save the Queen and all that stuff.
But then I listened to it and thought it was shit, so...
By the way, I saw there was this picture in the news recently, just on a completely different topic. There's this teenager. He looks like a toddler, basically. But he's reached the height of 7'8". Wow. He's almost 8 foot. And 2 inches. No, he's now 8 foot and 2 inches. But if you were to type him in, he's standing next to his parents, and it's unbelievable. It's like someone did a really great Photoshop job and just expanded this kid next to his parents, and it looks like they're the children. It's like when you watch the Lord of the Rings and you see, that great editing of, Gandalf looks massive compared to all the little hobbits.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I can't remember what his name was. Brock Brown. Brock Brown. He's officially the world's tallest teenager. Go and have a look at it if you get a chance. It's quite crazy. Where did you say he was
from again? Did you say where he's from? Or?
I didn't say where he's from, no. It should say here, though. Michigan. Michigan. See, I would have thought it would be in China, because they pretty much pooped out the smallest and the tallest.
They're quite a small country.
What?
In terms of size, not in geographically. In terms of their actual height, they tend to be actually pretty small. It's a lot of the tallest people they kind of really are kind of the odd ones out in a way.
Oh, you mean in China?
Yeah. Yeah, my friend went there recently. He said actually quite a lot of them are quite short.
So the ones that do stick out. Oh yeah, I knew that. Yeah. China's population usually are a little bit smaller than say America's or something, but because they're such a densely packed country, and the fact that they're like 1/4 or 1/3 of the world's population, you would think even with the percentage of them being small, you would still get a lot of tall people there. You would still get most of the world's basically, but
but it's like I was thinking when your parents are short and you're really tall, you do wonder how does that happen?
Or how so quickly?
Yeah, how do you get so tall when your parents are midgets?
Oh right, genetically. I think it's probably because when you get older, especially mums, I suppose. Do they get shorter? Do people get? You can't really get shorter, can you?
You can a little bit, I think.
Yeah,
I think you do shrink a little bit sometimes.
Wouldn't that be more about
bits of your body do shrink?
But wouldn't that be more about wear and tear, or
possibly
disintegration? You're still going to grow your bones up to a certain point, but you can't really. I don't know if you can actually decrease in muscle mass or. Just to the point where you get smaller. Your bones can't shrink, right?
I I don't. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. I do know parts of you do like shrink.
Well, I shrink every day, Matt. I shrink every day. Whenever someone turns on the cold water, every day I shrink.
Oh, yeah. Well, the obvious bits shrink quite a lot, don't they?
But yeah, anyway.
Carmen knows all about that.
Oh, yeah, of course she does.
Leave that there.
Anyway, welcome to the Dog Seduction Podcast. I'm Chris, and...
I'm Matt, and we should have a little tune here, shouldn't we?
I'll play a little bit of the old Fadangle jingle. Get your saxophone out, Matt.
Okay. That is... but there's something wrong with my saxophone.
Welcome to the Dog Seduction Podcast, where we talk about stuff.
Yeah. Getting out the porn groove right there.
Yeah. Oh, I tell you what. There is actually a great album called Porno Groove.
Yeah.
And it's got a great song called Guzz on the Bus.
Guzz on the Bus.
Yeah, and it's excellent. It's like a kind of jazzy kind of porn soundtrack kind of album. Oh, you should really look it up on YouTube at some point.
I will.
It's excellent.
Anyway, what are we talking about today, Matt?
We're talking about the Atlas Vampire.
Atlas Vampire.
Yeah. The Atlas Vampire is not a vampire who kind of went all around the world ticking off, countries. It's not like a gap year kind of vampire. It's a vampire, or so it's supposed, from Sweden, but particularly it gets its name because this murder happened in the Atlas neighbourhood in Stockholm. So we're in Sweden again. As you can tell, we do quite like Sweden.
Oh, we love Sweden.
Just everything about it, even the murders.
Going to suck your blood.
Who?
I'm going to suck your blood.
That's great Swedish, that is.
I've learned Swedish for 5 years now, and I think I'm quite fluent in the language.
I think you could be in some of those Nordic noirs with that accent.
He make with skew. I don't know. That's a pathetic imitation of the Swedish accent.
Yeah.
Really pathetic. I'm so ashamed.
You've got to watch out for those penguins as well, haven't you?
Oh, yes. Come on, mate. Let's go in the computer. And, oh, fuck it. Let's talk about the Swedish vampire.
Yeah. Right, there's really not much information on this murder, so...
Quite a short episode, I'd say.
Yeah, so we might not be able to tell you much. We'll definitely solve this one, though.
What is that? Blasphemy? The fans? You have to be at least half an hour, dorks. What's going on? Well,
I know.
We're not people that, we don't pad things out at all,
yeah.
So... Yeah.
We can't go all night long, can we? So,
not really.
No. We've only
only
got a certain amount of stamina.
So we can only just about manage 5 minutes, to be honest. I mean, everything else is just filler.
If it's a bad day, I can only last 5 seconds. So.
Ooh. Careful.
Yeah. So, this one's particularly known for its kind of gruesome crime details. Only one murder, I should add, though. So you might be a bit disappointed.
Still, though, the fact that there's one murder and that was enough to moniker a nickname for the killer. Now, that kind of says something, doesn't it?
That's pretty impressive, actually.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, we're bigging up the murderer here.
If it's good enough, I might put it down in the Dorks Encyclopedia of Great Kills.
Ooh, there's how many's in there already?
Well, we got 2, but I think I'm one of them. So I'm a bit biased,
Yeah, obviously you're going to come out on top of that, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, of course, You know, the reason I'm at the top, Matt, is because no one's caught me. That's the best type of killer.
Yeah, but also, as in the words of Carly Simon, no one does it better. Or nobody does it better, I think. I think that's what that song's called.
Oh.
Yeah, it helps to get the right title. Unfortunately, we never find out who does this, so I'm going to break it to you early, fans. So this is kind of why this case is in some way so interesting to people. The victim, who we should talk about, was Lilly Lindeström. He was a 32-year-old prostitute, although one blog I was reading made a particular emphasis on the fact that she was called a cool girl. Apparently this was because only her room had a phone, but I thought it was because prostitutes were just called cool girls anyway. So I don't know whether that's an actual point or not.
It's worth noting down, though.
Yeah, she entertained clients in her apartment, which I was kind of thinking, most people like to separate their work from their home, so that's got to be a bit difficult for her. And her apartment in the Atlas neighbourhood is quite small and dark, and it's quite dingy. So it does, in a way, it's kind of like your worst image of prostitution, I guess. Her downstairs neighbour, Minnie Jansen, was also a prostitute. And she was the last person to see Lilly alive, apart from a murderer, obviously, unless Minnie Jansen was the murderer. This was, I think, a few days before her body was discovered. Lilly had stopped by Minnie's apartment in search of condoms, which apparently she actually came twice for condoms. And this last time she came, one blog in particular makes a point that she was naked under a long coat. Why it's so important, that bit, I don't know. Minnie kind of began to worry when she hadn't seen her for like a couple of days or so. I think she tried knocking on the apartment. She wouldn't answer her phone. So she'd started to get a bit concerned, and she called the Stockholm police, or alerted them. And they entered her apartment, and what they found was pretty shocking. So this is where you faint, Chris, in a minute.
I'm ready.
Lilly's body was face down on a bed. She was naked, and her clothes were neatly folded on a chair next to the body.
Well, that's not too surprising for a murder case, you know. Is that it?
No, there's more to come. Hold your suspense for a little bit longer. It was clear to the police that Lilly had been dead for 2 or 3 days. And furthermore, Lilly had engaged in sexual activity right before being murdered.
Of course.
As police had found a used condom in her anus. Not the nicest way to go.
Lovely.
Not dignified, I guess.
Not really. No, just leave it there.
Yeah. The cause of death had been repeated blows from a blunt object to Lilly's head. Now, here comes to the bit where you're really going to... You'll either faint or be sick. So.
Really?
Yeah, be prepared. Disturbingly, later investigations revealed that most, if not all, of Lilly's blood had been drained.
What? What? Serious?
Yeah, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Oh. Yeah. Bloody hell. Chris, are you still there? Talk to me.
Oh my god. Oh, foosball. No.
There's more, I'm afraid, Chris.
Are you serious?
Do you really want me to break it to you? What happens next?
Let's get with it. Come on.
Yeah. Well, saliva was also found on Lilly's neck and body, and police soon began to suspect that the blood-stained gravy ladle found in Lilly's room had really been used to drink her blood.
But what? Oh shit. But seriously, what the fuck? Like, serious? Like,
yeah.
But how did they, like... Obviously, it's a ladle. It's made for soup dipping, but...
It's suspicious because I was thinking it could have just been used to transport the blood into something, but then I thought that's a very slow way.
Yeah, but, like, for a guy whose precise and actually, calculated method was to... take blood out.
Yeah.
And then to just use a ladle to do it, like he just ran out of equipment for his master skill. Like, no, like, or then again, maybe it was meant to throw people off.
Yeah, perhaps it was kind of he wanted a bit of fame, and he thought, leave a ladle. That makes me turn into a vampire.
Yeah, people will be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Not to, like, obviously decommission the myth of this great act already, listeners, but as we know, murderers are some of the most attention whorish people out there. So obviously they want theirs to stick out, and they'll try and get creative like this, for instance.
I've got an idea for like a reality TV show.
Oh yeah,
all these like attention whore murderers just like have a show where they murder people.
What, like X Factor?
Or like Bake Off. So try and find the most extravagant way you can kill someone.
Yeah, it'd be like that RuPaul drag queens show, but obviously a bit more attention-seeking.
Yeah, you'll have the people who do pretty simple, ordinary murders, and they'll get voted off pretty quickly. And then, like Bake Off, you've got the more experimental.
Yeah, they have like interviews of each one. Like, I really like what Jack did. He was really good. He was really precise. But to be honest, he's a bit of a bitch. I prefer using the meat cleaver, and it's just interviewing like the ice hockey face man. All these other guys like they're divas or something.
Yeah, or you could have like someone accidentally stole another murderer's knife or something like that. Try and sabotaging each other's murders. So yeah.
Yeah, but I can't believe he bloody gave me a rubber one. I was in the middle of my prime there.
I definitely think we should go to someone with this idea.
Oh, we could do it.
It's a winner.
Do it. Yeah, it's a winner. It's a winner.
Yeah. What I like about that bit though is later investigations revealed that the blood was not there. You wouldn't kind of notice when you were trying to lift the body up or something.
Yeah,
surely you notice there's no blood in there. It's got to be a bit limp, hasn't it?
Yeah, and plus like the colouring as well. Like surely she was all white and stuff, but. If anything, a lack of blood. I mean, the blood makes up what percentage of the human body? A significant portion, at least.
Yeah, it's got to be.
She must have been completely light or something. I mean.
Yeah, I just can't believe that they wouldn't notice that pretty soon.
Yeah, but then again, like, how long did you say it took them to notice?
This says later investigations, which I assume is during an autopsy or something like that. I guess if they did ones those days, I guess. Yeah, I think we're coming to the end soon. And this is obviously the day in the days before DNA evidence, so the saliva as well. Nowadays, we would have been able to probably find out who this was.
It would have been quite easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I suppose the kind of great tragedy in a way is that back then there was no DNA, so this one just goes completely unsolved.
Especially since, all the DNA is pretty much there, you just can't quite access it.
This, as I think I read somewhere, one blog puts it quite nicely, the abundance of bodily fluids, which,
Lovely.
Just, that's pretty much my house.
All over the place. UV lights. It must have been great to be a murderer back in those days, right?
Yeah, it's so easy.
You could literally just throw a knife at someone and run off. You could leave the knife, no worries. Yeah, you don't even have to be that intelligent. You can leave like as much bodily fluids as you like, and still get away with it. You could pretty much purchase a gun and shoot the guy in the face. He wouldn't have even signed your name down in the book yet. It would literally just, you're done. I'm out. I'll just take all this shit and go. I do wonder if murderers are going, it's so much better in the old days. Or I don't know, maybe they like it because you've got to work a bit harder nowadays to get away with murder. That's true. But then again, like if you were to kill someone with something edible, like an ice pick or a block of ice even, just do that. Smash them with a block of ice and leave it. It's all good. Yeah, I think we've got some quite good ideas here. I know, right? We could do it. We could do it. Yeah, we've got to put them to the test. We go out and be our own mythical murderers. Yeah. We could do an episode on us. We could, yeah. But then again, the fact that we're recording this is we've already signed our prison sentence. So. Yeah. But at the same time, let's go out and become legends before they catch us. Yeah. But perhaps we should edit that bit out so the judges don't have something, or the lawyers or whatever. Good idea. Yeah. It's a bit incriminating. Yeah. Just a little bit, but unless we say we're joking. Hey, how about that one then, Matt? Yeah. Bloody hell. Imagine if we actually like that. Oh, gosh. I know, what jokers we are. Oh, goodness, what we like. Anyway. Yeah. Now, the police quite reasonably reasoned that Lily's last customer would have been her murderer. So they questioned a lot of her regular clients, but no one particularly stood out as being like a tangible suspect, and no one's ever been charged with a crime. But the most kind of, I suppose, what we could debate in a way is, where did all that blood go? Yeah, that's a point. Like, even so, like, what is he going to do with it? Like, store it or sell it? Could you sell off blood back in those days? Was there a need for blood in the doctor's practice? Yeah, because I forgot to mention the year's 1932, so. This is quite a long time ago. Oh, for some reason I was thinking a little bit more ancient. No, I don't know whether you need blood or not so much. I'm not sure whether give blood. Is that what the organisation's called? Oh, what, give blood? Yeah, that whole lot. I don't know whether they existed in Sweden.
I don't know if that's a purely British thing. I like the idea only British people give blood.
I'm pretty sure every country has their own
It's so selfish.
own service of it, but obviously we're not going to hear about it, are we?
Yeah.
We're not the only country in the world that gives blood. Like, we don't supply the world with their blood.
I know. I'm so racist about people giving blood.
You're so racist, man. You're so racist. Yeah.
I know. I'm terrible. I think, I don't know, because it's after like the World War One, and I think there probably was a need for blood.
Yeah.
Blood transfusions had probably started by then, because you've got people who've probably lost a lot of blood and need blood.
I think transfusion was it was pretty much a Victorian invention anyway, wasn't it? So
the only problem, I think, a murderer like this, I'm not sure he's kind of saying, "Oh, I'll murder her," so for a good cause, so other people can have their blood.
She's just got all that, that hard to come by. What's the really hard blood to come by? The really rare one?
Oh, it's some blood type, isn't it?
Type O.
It's type O. There's only a few people who've got that blood type, haven't they?
Yeah.
I think there's some famous person who's got that blood type.
Should we slaughter him and get it over?
Yeah, I can't remember who. Interestingly, there's an episode of the Swedish Wallander, however you say it.
Oh, Wallander, yeah.
Yeah, and there is actually an episode. It's not really based on this murder, but this guy does actually drain the blood of the victim.
Bloody hell. How does he do it anyway in the Wallander?
He actually does it while they're still alive, which is a really
nasty.
gruesome thing. He's got some medical equipment or something like that, and basically it puts the blood into, if you've ever seen like blood transfusion, they've got like a bag of blood kind of thing.
Just slow drip all the way through.
It's pretty much just the same as that.
So have you ever, when you wake up on your arm and you've kind of sucked all the blood out of your own arm?
Yeah.
And you get that pin in the needles, it's a painful thing. But what's worse than that, I once had it the other day. I actually get it quite a lot. Because I'm a big guy, I lie on my arm and it literally sucks all the blood out of my arm.
Yeah.
But when I actually hold my arm up or, let gravity take its course to get it back in, it takes about maybe 20 to 30 seconds. But I can literally hear the blood coming back in.
Yeah,
I can literally hear it squelching through. It's nasty, and it really. And then when it reaches my veins just below my wrist, good, you can feel it. It's nasty.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did that when you slept on your arm and you wake up and your arm feels like all wobbly, doesn't it?
I prefer to just let it get over with, but not look at the arm because I feel like my vein is going to burst by the force of all the blood.
Yeah, but when I first did that, I was like, what the fuck have I done to myself? I'm about to scream, help, I've done something to my arm.
I've amputation. The consumption has taken me.
Oh. No, but getting back to this Wallander thing, because what he does in this is he uses the blood for not another murder, but he kidnaps this policeman's daughter.
Yeah, and
he sprays this dead woman's blood all over this room.
All right.
So I'm not saying this murderer might have done that, but it's kind of an idea.
What was the case? What was that for?
What do you mean?
Why did he spray that woman's blood all over this room?
He kidnapped the guy's daughter, but he wanted the policeman to believe that she was dead. He wanted to make it look like a murder scene.
Right.
But when they analysed the blood, they realised it wasn't his daughter's blood. So
just to stop them looking for him.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, yeah.
Yeah, it's not the nicest.
It's nasty.
Yeah, it's not a nice way to go, that, having your blood drained.
Bloody hell.
I can't really think of what he'd really do with this blood, though, this one, the Atlas vampire.
Yeah.
I suppose it could be a year's worth supply of drink, I guess.
Like pop him in his cans.
Yeah. That's what he's into.
I like to buy bulk of Cheetos whenever I go to Iceland, stock up on them, Sometimes they're hard to import, so whenever you find a good source, you buy,
Yeah, I guess it's quite a lot of effort to go murder someone for their blood.
If it was an addiction, he actually wanted to drink the blood, it would have to be a ritual thing, because at no point in your life do you go, oh, accidentally drank some blood. That was fucking nice, I'm going to have to have there's no point where you actually think, oh, accidentally drank some blood, but it was actually, regardless of whether it was actually fucking brilliant, good bit of blood there, bit of O.
I wonder if it's he accidentally cut himself or something.
And just thought, I love the taste of dirty pennies, you know. Like,
after going, ow, 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 ooh, that does taste nice.
And he's like, what am I doing? I'm sucking my... You know what? It's going back in my body, so that's all right.
I have to admit, I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
Unless he was like kissing someone, accidentally bit them, and then thought, ooh. That's a bit dodgy, though.
That would be a bit dodge.
Because you hear of many female vampire murderers, even, I should say.
Well, to be honest, you don't get many vampire murderers full stop, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, you get female victims. You always get female victims for this kind of thing, because it's always like a lady of the night or someone they've attracted home.
Because I know what you're saying about vampire murders, because a lot of the ones that supposedly are, a lot of people tend to say they're not really. It's highly debatable, because you never actually see the person drinking that person's blood, so...
No, but you don't actually know if they did. I mean, it's all about the myth, isn't it? They might say they did. It was a really nasty case a couple of years back, I think mid-noughties, probably earlier, where this teenager broke into an old lady's home. I don't know if it was a flat or whatever, but anyway, he ended up killing her. He was a big fan of vampires, basically, the actual creature. He ended up cutting her heart out and trying to eat it. It sounded like, because of his little fandom, it was unnecessary violence for the sake of this, just to see what it was like. And obviously he got caught. He didn't go all the way with it either. Apparently he was a little bit distraught, and it's such a pathetic villain, you know. Like, well, I thought I was evil enough for it, but turns out I'm just a little bit, you know, snivelly. Still ended up killing her and eating her heart. Like, fucking hell, man.
Hence where the phrase "eat your heart out" comes from.
Oh, you drunk.
No, what caused you to that? Like, because I can understand, like, you know, you watch something, but you don't think, oh, I'll give that a go, you know.
I'll give it. You get like angsty teens in some schools. Yeah. Some of them, like, they take it to a new level where they're like, I fucking hate society. You know, no one's as deep as me. But then again, you get some people that are psychotic enough to actually put things into motion, like the same people that take guns or knives to a school or something, you know, the same on the other side of the spectrum. There's some that want to outlive their dark fantasies, you know. Yeah. Some do it through conventions and being furries, whatever, you know, that at least that's harmless to other people, but others, they want to be vampires, you know.
Like, teenagers are bloody annoying, aren't they?
They're bloody annoying. They think they know everything. Yeah. To be honest, mate, it's a society that'll never stop. Yeah. So why try to reason with it? Go ahead and hate it. Put it on Room 101 if you ever get a chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Definitely. Along with George Osborne.
Oh, yeah. Although we're rid of him, like, to some degree.
I think he's disappeared, but, you know,
He's dedicating his life to the Northern Powerhouse.
He's retreated back to his castle. Yeah. Building up his forces as we speak, you know. I watched a Room 101 episode and it had Charles Dance on it. And he actually picked Jules Osborne to put on it. He said, if Room 101 was bigger, I'd throw in his friends as well, you know. It's brilliant.
You got like Charles Dance.
Charles Dance, he's such a witty guy, man. Yeah. He's classy.
I like the stories about George Osborne and that dominatrix. You heard about some of that.
Did he drain her blood?
No, he didn't. No, it's like just stuff like he like snorted cocaine with her, and she used to get him to do things, apparently. Crawl around on all fours, I guess.
Yes! You know, I have nothing wrong with someone doing what they want, however deviant, in their own room, as long as it's like not killing, you know. Yeah. And everyone's into it. But the picture of George Osborne, like, that's the funny thing. I already pictured him doing shit like that. Yeah. Like, he's got that kind of, I think my mum says he's got a bit of a paedophile face, you know. He looks like his blood is drained all the time. He's just looking for the next victim. And just seeing him around kids is off-putting anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing, I apparently convinced him to, like, run down the street naked or something like that.
Oh, I don't think he would have gone that far. He knows how famous he is.
No, this was before he was...
Oh, really?
This is when he was a student.
Well, there you go. But then again, like, I think in his defence, the role of Chancellor of the Exchequer, you're going to be hated anyway. It's like the villain role. Like, regardless of whether you're a nice bloke or not, you're pretty much slated to be an evil person.
It is a thing. Like, we've moaned about Cameron and Osborne a lot. But what if we find out that Theresa May and like Philip Hammond. What and if they're like worse?
Yeah.
And like we kind of yearn for the days of Osborne and Cameron again.
Oh my God, well, that's just out of necessity, isn't it? I mean, Osborne and Cameron had me yearning for the days of Gordon Brown, fuck's sake. I mean,
I know.
Gordon bloody Brown. And there was nothing Gordon Brown brought to the table that actually worked.
No, he's pretty useless.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Tony went, all right, you go ahead and have your little day in the sun. And Gordon was just like, thank you, Prime Minister. You know, like...
Yeah.
There was nothing he brought to the table. He was pretty much the most... he was, out of most of the Prime Ministers, they were hateful for their politics and who they were. But Gordon Brown just didn't even socially get accepted.
Yeah. It does take something when you've had, like, Tony Blair, who... war criminal, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Like,
you're more unpopular than a war criminal.
I mean, at least Saddam wore his bloody war cap. You know, Tony Blair was just in the shadows. We didn't learn about this manifesto, and he was just trying to bide his time. And he's gotten away with it. Like, he's pretty much old now. He'll die a free man. Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
While trying to, bring peace to the Middle East.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, doing a great job there.
Yeah. It's like a game of civilization, isn't it? I need a reason to invade this person, but I can't do it without being the bad guy. We need to have a privateer or something, a privateer. They actually do that. There's, in America especially, they have these things called, I can't remember what they're actually called, privateer attacks or something, where I remember the actual name, but false flag operations, that's it. Where they have one of their own pretend to be the guys that they want to invade and attack them. So that they can actually, go. I remember there was a guy who talked about doing it in Palestine with Israel.
Really?
There was this deleted video footage, but it's always up for just a little bit. Someone leaks it, and then it gets taken down all over the internet. But this guy was proposing a false flag operation for Palestine. Obviously, I'm ignorant of the situation because I didn't record it, and I can't remember it very well, so just ignore me, guys. But I remember it was like, wow, they do actually still talk about this shit because it works, right? It makes you scared about what the government's plot because they could pretty much get away with anything and keep the public opinion on their side. Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's scary.
I don't like all that stuff.
It's propaganda and it's horrible.
Yeah, like the last episode that we did was the Harold Wilson plot.
Yeah.
And that kind of makes you realise there's a lot of forces at work out there,
And that's the scary part. Like, it's always someone who's the agenda is never your own. It's someone else's. You might think freedom, but if you're the invading force and you're fighting for freedom, although the only country I could actually warrant an invasion for is North Korea. They're throwing out nuclear tests like their aeroplanes, just to flaunt their power. They're showing their military dominance by just emptying out all these threats and stuff. And thirdly, most of their population, it's in war camps, work camps, terrible conditions. At the same time, though, I still wouldn't want to see an invasion. I would just want to see some sort of peaceful cooperation, or one of the heads of North Korea to go, you know what? Yeah, you guys got it. You're right. We've been a bit of a dickish nation. Can you guys give us some fucking Game Boys? Because we are bored over here or something. That shit looks tight.
You get Game Boy Colors to pretty much, or any Game Boy to anyone. A bit of Pokemon or whatever,
start them off with red and blue, see how they go. And then really fuck with them and give them Sun Moon or whatever the new one is. And they'll be like, wow, that was the sequel? The West is fantastic.
Yeah. They'll love it.
I would love to just see their expressions on some of our technology. This sounds really fucking pretentious, doesn't it? I'd love to see their faces on some of our inventions. No, but I just for instance, I would love to see their reactions to, say, Doctor Who or Breaking Bad or just some of the films that we have, because they look like they just don't have that there, entertainment.
Yeah. That's what's interesting is it Kim Jong-il?
Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, well, the old one. The one that died.
Kim Jong-il.
He was quite fond of American films and stuff like that, wasn't he?
One of his favourite films was Titanic. Yeah,
I like
apparently
that.
so. Like,
Yeah.
and it's weird when you hear that. Like, apparently Saddam really liked Leonardo DiCaprio. Like, when you hear about this, Putin likes Queen, I think.
Does he?
Or was it Saddam? One of those two. It's
Wow.
just, yeah, exactly. It's like, it humanizes him.
Yeah.
And you know it shouldn't.
I
again,
like the idea of Putin singing along to a Queen song.
I do. You know, he probably doesn't know Freddie Mercury's gay. That's why he likes it.
Yeah, could you imagine Putin like singing "I Want to Break Free" or something like that?
Yeah, and then well, with the schoolgirl outfit on as well. Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, Roger Taylor makes pretty convincing.
I tell you what, yeah, he's all right. He's a bit of all right in that.
Yeah. I think I read somewhere, it's quite funny. He did say even he was a little concerned about how kind of convincing he looked as a schoolgirl.
It was, but the thing is, that's why it worked, because it really, you were like, hang on, whoa, bloody hell, go on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I've read an article where Hitler was a fan of
"I Want to Break Free."
No. Well, firstly, that would open up a bunch of different questions.
Yeah.
But these articles where they talk about how these nasty men really like Stalin as well. Like, I think he was a fan of jazz.
Oh yeah. I think what I like reading is, like, you hear about, like, you've got all these mass murderers, but their sons and daughters always reveal how nice they were.
Yeah,
I like that idea.
That's true. Like, because you always think with these massive faces of tyranny and its injustice, you never think of the fact that they are human. Like, you don't think they have interests and stuff, and so you think of them as just faceless. Like, their hobby is conquering, or their whole hobby is killing. You think they're not going to listen to the new album of Gorillaz because their hobby is to kill people, or to rule.
Yeah.
But you forget that, like, they are just like us, just off the fucking edge.
It's funny because, like, some of them could be, like, strangely sentimental as well.
Yeah. Have you seen Downfall?
Downfall.
It's about that German film about the last days of Hitler.
Oh no, but it's one where the famous
Hitler outrage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascist 5. Yeah. You keep reminding yourself this is Goebbels. Horrible man, Himmler, and Hitler, and Hitler's in the bunker with Goebbels. Before the end. Sounds like a great setup for a comedy.
Sitcom.
Hey, oh honey, I'm home. That actually happened, by the way. I'll get into that later, but it paints a very vulnerable picture of this man who was responsible for all this death.
Yeah.
But keeps him in character, and it's like you are seeing it through the secretary's eyes, and you feel sorry for the man. Obviously Goebbels, they don't try to make him vulnerable. He is constantly, like, nasty as hell, but he is still a family man as well, because it reminds you that he has a family, even though he ends up killing them in the end. It's just it's refreshing, if anything, to see a different version of it, but at the same time, like, it's still Hitler.
You still gotta hate him.
Exactly, mate. Oh god! And then he's talking about how Himmler will come and save him soon. He's like, Himmler's on the way, and we all know how Himmler reacted. Like, as soon as the first sign of defeat, he's like, "Oh, save me, Americans! I'm on your side now." But yeah, one last thing: that "Hail, honey, I'm home" actually was throwing something at the wall to see if it stuck in the early 90s, and it was like a sitcom about Hitler living next to a Jewish family in Germany, and all the shenanigans they get up to, and it's his wife is Eva Braun, and oh my god, it's like it tries to be funny with that outrageous comedy. It's like it fails so spectacularly.
Yeah,
like the jokes are just foreshadowings of what would actually happen.
Yeah,
so it's like, if I could just get rid of you, Oh my god!
It could have been a genius idea. That
it could have been, and in a way, it kind of was if it was executed better.
Yeah,
but. Oh my god! Hail, honey, I'm home.
Oh,
look it up, some guy.
I will do. If only it was better though.
Yeah,
I'd love to watch that. It's something I'd go out and watch.
He lives next to a family called the Goldsteins or something like that.
Yeah,
of course he does. My god!
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're nearly done, haven't we?
Yeah, we kind of went off track a bit, but to be honest, we
need to flesh that out a bit, though, because there wasn't a lot to talk about. Yeah, I'm not sure there's anything more we can really say.
Well, in the aftermath, they didn't catch the guy, did they?
No one ever caught for this murder even. So it's a shame, really. I do feel a bit sorry for not the nicest way to go.
It isn't, no.
You're kind of like, there's no death and dignity anyway. Come on, that's like having your blood taken, just kind of left there with a condom stuck in your arse. It's
bloody hell. I mean, there's no evidence that she was still alive when it happened because it was a blunt force trauma, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but still,
that's not a nice way to go.
It ain't, no.
He could have just made her unconscious, then take her blood, and she could have just died naturally. So
one more thing, I might ask you, Matt. Did they have any idea or methods on how the blood was ejected from her body?
There's very little is known about that.
Really?
I really can't believe the idea of him just with a ladle, slowly trying to get bits of blood out. So
smacking her with the ladle, and then trying to scoop out the blood with the ladle.
I'm not sure if it's like when you're trying to get a bit of oil in a jerry can or something like that, like just tipping her over or something.
Yeah,
trying to pour the blood into something,
bleeding her.
Yeah, because I can't. I mean, unless he had all the pipes and stuff like that and bags and stuff like that he could put it in. I really don't know how he could have done it.
Yeah, sounds a bit. So it's a creepy picture, really. But
yeah.
In the end, no one was caught. Another unknown murderer walked free.
Yeah. It's a bit sad, but there you go. Although it does sound quite noirish, this one, and there is kind of I see on the blog, one of the blogs, there's a really great photo of kind of the area where it happens, and it's a black and white photo.
Yeah,
it looks just literally like a still from a noir film or something like that.
I think I saw that.
It's on one of their blogs. I can't remember what the blog was now, but
still,
I could see this being like a noir film in a way.
The hunt for the Atlas Vampire.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure noir films had quite so disturbing murderers. So.
That's true. I mean, it would have happened off screen, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And been described.
Yeah. But yeah, this one's a gruesome one. So, because you fainted a couple of times. I mean,
I know, right?
How bad
I'm still dizzy. But it shows the capacity that some people are willing to go to just to be remembered. And that's if he intentionally wanted to be remembered, At the end, at least there wasn't a second, at least that we know of, that was confirmed by this murderer with this MO. And hopefully no copycats in that era.
Yeah, it does seem strange. It does seem like the kind of thing that they do quite regularly, I would have thought. That kind of thing. It doesn't strike me as the kind of thing you do just once.
Maybe maybe he wanted to do it a couple of times, but it was so much bloody work. He thought, you know what, one time, that's it.
Yeah, I think as we mentioned in another episode, prostitutes don't tend to get kind of remembered all that much. So he could have done it loads of times.
Yeah, that's true.
To prostitutes, and it's just not been. Just people didn't care about it. So
yeah. I mean, who actually keeps an eye on prostitutes? The only time you get it recorded is when they're found.
Yeah. What did you say? What a knob?
What a knob! No, I said, oh well.
All right. I thought you said what a knob, which I mean does accurately describe him, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we can finish there.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Yeah. We should probably mention the social media.
Definitely, yes. All right, listeners, you can follow us at The Dorks Deduction on Twitter. You can also find us on Facebook if you wish to. And we look forward to hearing from you guys.
Yeah, we really do.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yay, talk to us, people.
We love to talk, aside from the times when we don't like to talk. So let us know what your questions are. We like to hear from you, and we do care. We really do.
We really do.
Mm.
Anyway,
bye-bye.
Bye. I do hope Tom edits out where I threatened to punch my dog.
I don't worry, if she hears it, that's all right.
Yeah.
But
I just don't want that going into the podcast.
But just put it at the end. I'm going to punch my fucking dog.
Actually, it says because I say I'm going to punch you. It makes it sound like I'm going to punch you. Actually,
I'm going to punch you in a minute. No, no, Matt, please. You could use this, Tom. No, Matt, please. I didn't mean it. No.
How dare you insult me?
What are you doing, Matt? But I pooped from there. No. No, Matt. Okay.
Leave my ladle alone.
I think it's blood, but then again, it could be Heinz tomato soup.